You tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things, MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong, history. And we good on that, put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1, everybody say Bulls on tap, Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty, Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery, nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news, go and subscribe. Hang out with Buzzy and Goose, tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just cooked my first Thanksgiving turkey. And that is what I couldn't even get through the intro because I was so excited to tell you about me cooking a thing. Dude, you should see the pictures of this thing. I'll pull them up my phone for everybody. But before I do that, be sure to go on tapsportsnet.com for other Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter, X, whatever it's called, at Bulls on Tap, at Goose on Tap, at Buzz on Tap, at On Tap Sportsnet. Go to the YouTube. That is my mission. I want to build the YouTube because it's cool, and I like to do it. Subscribe. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow, Goose. It's Black Wednesday. The Bulls, sorry. Oh, my God. The Bulls lose to the Thunder. And I came up with this sweet-ass title. It's called Black Wednesday's Thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm on one, and I'm cracking them. I have a margarita.
So, I mean, obviously, we should probably get into the big storyline here, which is
thank you.
Zach LaVine does not play basketball today due to right soreness.
Yeah.
And what are you reading into this, Buzz? Is Zach's foot actually sore? Is that why he didn't try in the last 2 games? Or did Zach LaVine realize that people realized that he was not trying in the last 2 games and was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to play tonight.
Yeah, I think that's 100% what it is. I actually think the latter of what you just said is what it is. I think that Zach's been getting a lot of scrutiny from the fan base, from the local media, and everything in between. I felt like he said to kind of like make a point. You're against a playoff team in the Western Conference and a very good young team at that. And if you're not going to have him, you're going to get your ass kicked. And that's what everybody thought going into this game. But newsflash to everybody, it's a typical Chicago Bulls stat line with Zach LaVine or without him in the lineup for the last year and a half or so. So Kobe White, I think, did a good job in filling in his place and taking the shots and whatever. Like, is he as good as a player, Zach? That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that, well, we're still losing. And at the end of the day, you want to win.
The game started exactly how the games with Zach have started, and that was the Bulls shooting extremely poorly, getting down early and fighting from behind from a double-digit deficit, and ugly basketball until the second half when they decide to play. And then they make it interesting, and it's good enough for you to keep the game on, and then when all is said and done, the outcome is the same.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And it's funny you said that about the outcome being the same. So I opened the episode with I just cooked a huge turkey. I have never cooked because my family still has these traditions that are still in place, and my wife's family, everybody's still around, so all the elders still cook.
All the elders.
Yes, I was asked to task up turkey this year.
Look at that beard. You are now an elder.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I got a gray or 2 in this motherfucker somewhere too. I don't know where they're at, but I saw them today when I was trimming it up.
Bulls induced grace.
Yes, 100%. But I made this turkey, dude, during the game. But every time I looked up, I saw Pat Williams fucking doing something. So this all correlates with what you just said. And I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, this is it. I'm like, all these people that were talking shit to me, he's showing Zach's out. Every time I look up, he is doing something. Am I going to pretend like I watched every minute of the game? Every minute of the game was on. I heard it. There's moments I was cooking my turkey and preparing things for Thanksgiving. But I look at the stat line, bro, at the end of the game on my phone.
More important than the Bulls.
Hey, I take chefing seriously.
Okay.
I
don't blame you.
All right.
The Bulls don't take basketball seriously.
No, they don't.
Somebody's got to take something seriously.
But back to Pat. 37 minutes he gets. I'm like, whoa. definitely a season high. It's got to be. 3 for 9, 2 for 5. He scored 10 points, but he did grab 7 boards, and that's what we'll all talk about on Twitter, isn't it?
You know what? He grabbed 7 boards, and I begged for it last show. I wanted Pat to finish a dunk.
And he did it.
And instead of going up with one hand, like he went up with 2 this time, and he finished that mount truck. Yep. So
he had a very, very explosive in his 3 field goals made game to me. I feel like he hit a big 3 on a big comeback for us. He had that big dunk. He even a couple of his rebounds were huge. And I know it's funny that we're talking about it, but I got to give him credit. I felt he hustled. Would you say you felt he hustled? I mean, I know it's just 9 shots, and I want to see him have more, but I felt like he hustled.
I felt that he hustled, and it was weird watching this game. And I'm sure if Zach comes back and he has a big game, I'll sound like a dumbass, but I kind of enjoyed the lack of drama.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed just a team going out there that was just playing. They got their ass kicked. It was the same team. It was the same story, same outcome, but it was minus Zach. And it gave you an idea of looking at it like, okay, so you add a piece or 2 back from Zach and a pick or 2 from that trade to move to the future. And you're going to get about the same outcome that you got with forcing these 3 stars to play together. And you get to see development. You get to see Pat and focus more on Pat and all that kind of stuff. Just, I don't know. I enjoyed tonight's game, even though we got our ass kicked all the same, more than I did, let's say, Zach's 51-point loss.
Well, right. Again, I mean, that could be our own sickness, though.
Yeah, it's just because I'm finally getting what I want.
Right.
It's like that what we begged for all offseason and maybe even for a full year last year,
right,
is finally hitting the peak where both Zach and this front office want a divorce.
Right. And that's where I'm at with the whole thing. Like, I don't need to see any more. Yes, the loss for me, seeing Kobe ball out, seeing Io get 21 minutes tonight. Patrick Williams
Io was the only one hitting shots with Kobe in the first.
He hit 3 3-pointers tonight. He came out there. He took it seriously. They lost to a very, very good team, but where I do give them credit is they battled. I'll give credit where credit's due. They battled. They did what they had to do to try to win. Unfortunately, they fell short, and they moved to 5-11, Goose, and that's just where you're at now. And the other report that came out today from Bleacher Report, bro, they're saying that there's not a lot of trade interest getting gathered for Zach, and that's not surprising. So everybody that thought we were going to get these huge packages, I saw somebody say put Brandon Miller in a package, and I was just like, I'd be very shocked if Charlotte would even think about it.
We'd have to wait quite a while.
Well, 100%, but even if that was entertained
for the eligibility, and I don't think they see Zach as a better fit with LaMelo than Miller long term.
I mean, even Keegan Murray, like we talked about the other night from Sacramento. I mean, they had to curb their expectations so much that they bit themselves in the ass, and the value literally did exactly what I said it was going to do a couple weeks ago. It dropped.
Well, I mean, it dropped substantially, and now your situation is so ugly and disgusting, and Zach wants out, and he's putting out a list of teams that he wants to go to. That takes away from all the interest from the teams that aren't on that list. So now you have to make a trade with LA, Philly, or Miami, who all have jack squat for assets, and no other team's interested because they're seeing the Zach LaVine that you could get if he's not happy in the situation that he lands in. And that's the power of clutch sports, and it's the power of the athlete in today's game is you don't need a no trade clause anymore. For the most part, they've done away with even the eligibility to get them anymore.
Right.
I don't believe LeBron even has one at the moment. But these players still have essentially no trade clauses. They put their teams that they want to go to out there. And I don't know that Zach's necessarily earned the right to do that. But with where his value is at, where his contract is at, that known value being around the league, all he has to do is look like he might not play or he might play frustrated in his new destination. And no team that isn't on that list of his 3 teams is going to have any serious interest or make a real serious offer because unless they get him for cheap, it's not worth the risk.
You brought up Miami before. just before you said that, and I have to ask you, like, seriously, what you know they're not getting Jimmy, you know that, you know they're not getting Bam. Is Tyler Hero
I mean,
like?
if you're giving me firsts in Tyler Hero, I think that's a pretty fair swap.
I'm saying I think that's a fair swap too. I'm asking you, would Miami do it? I think
at this point, I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of Heat fans out there on Twitter that are like, hell no Tyler Hero. And they're
because that's what I'm seeing, the same thing. You know, I got some boys from Miami that do podcasts and stuff like that, and they love the Heat. We should bring them on here and talk to them about that. I love how we're talking about this live.
Because I know their kid Jaquez isn't going to be in any talks either, more than likely. You know, and that's what's crazy is the Heat just pick up a new player every year and
make him something that you just can't believe. And contributing players in the NBA. I mean, Gabe Vincent, I know he's struggling. He was struggling with the Lakers a little bit. I haven't checked in on him recently, but I felt he was still in the rotation.
Well, and what they do when they go anywhere else doesn't matter, but just the fact that the Heat do it every single year.
Well, Max Struss and Gabe Vincent, the point is they're on pretty good teams and they're contributing.
Got good contracts.
Yeah.
And the only reason they left Miami is because they got paid more than Miami could afford to pay.
100%. But like I said, I look over there and I just don't see anything that makes sense to come back for Zach. And more I keep thinking about it, Goose, is more and more I keep thinking this is going to end up to be the Lakers. Because LeBron runs these operations. Zach and LeBron have been linked too long, like you talked about it depth in last episode with the whole clutch sports thing. I mean, it's going to be like D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, or whatever, and fucking first in 2029. And we're going to have to smile about getting an expiring contract. And then the one they signed Rui to like a 3-year contract, but it's not crazy. That's what we're looking at. I really think that might be a deal. Because I was watching Orlando earlier, too. I'd love to go snag Cole Anthony over there. They have a lot of guards.
Yeah,
Jonathan Isaac, if I can get my hand, I don't know.
I mean, it sucks that Zach doesn't have any teams like that on his list. Like a team like OKC, obviously they're humming already anyway. But
right.
I really don't think Josh Giddey fits their long-term plans there.
No, I don't think so. SGA is too ball dominant because Giddey doesn't hit the three at a high. He needs the ball to kind of create. He's like almost like another Ben Simmons.
Well, he's
he shoots way better than Ben Simmons. He shoots way better. I'm just saying.
He's somewhere in between Lonzo Ball and Ben Simmons.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I agree with that.
So no, I don't think Giddey fits their long-term plans. Isaiah Joe, coming into tonight was 17 and 22 from 3-point land this year. Dude can't seem to miss. So I don't think that he's somebody that they're going to get rid of. But OKC's got a whole bunch of young talent and more picks than anybody in the league.
What would you feel like about Giddey? I mean, how would you? We would have to look at this. I mean, I don't know their contract situation. I need to get in there and dive deep. But I mean, Davis Bertans, I know he was on a contract that got handed to him in San Antonio, right? So he's still on that.
He's still making like 15, 20 mil or something like that.
Right.
Somewhere in that range. So you throw him, Giddey, and another salary or two in there, and maybe you're in business.
How would you feel about like a Giddey move over here? What would you think about that?
I mean, I think given his size, obviously you can slot him at the 2 while moving Kobe officially over to shooting guard. Giddey, Kobe, Pat, Vooch. I don't know.
Yeah, it's so weird how you have to deconstruct the whole roster to make just one singular piece.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I felt like it made sense, what I said.
I mean, because what are you going to do? You can't really – can you throw Io in there? I guess he's got the size too. You just got a hodgepodge 3-guard lineup and 1 forward and a center. That's what Billy's been doing forever now anyway.
I think the growing pains would be horrible, and I think it'd be great at the same time because we're just getting we're getting a pick out of it, brother. And that's the point of it. You know, that's really the point of it at the end of the day. I hate like my mother-in-law's up, like my in-laws are here. I almost said my parents. They are kind of like my parents, and I've known them my whole life. But anyway, they're here, and she was asking me like to explain like why I said I wanted the Bulls to like, she asked me, well, you want them to win, right? And I was like, I don't really know how to answer that.
I don't really know. That's a loaded question.
Because it is loaded and I have a couple of vindictive motives built into there too. Like I want them to win, so I've seen Bulls Twitter erupt over
Zach
not being there.
Bulls beat the team that forced a 1-game team meeting without Zach LaVine.
Right. That would be that the storyline on that alone is unbelievable. right? So we would have that talk about. Then we just have a win to talk about because, hey, sometimes it's just cool to win.
Sometimes it's nice to talk about W's.
But if we – this is where she gets me bad. And this is how I'm explaining it to her. I was like, but if we lose, we get closer to the pick. And she goes, didn't you just say 3 minutes ago that they didn't know how to draft? And I just go, let me have this. Just let me have it for a minute. That I think that they're going to do something.
You know what, Sharon? You know what?
Yeah, right?
When you have the first pick in the draft, you generally don't have to know how to draft because it's usually pretty cut and dry.
Tell you what, you have the second pick in the draft. You look bad. You see Scoot Henderson. I know he's coming back from an ankle injury, but he's having a rough rookie year. That was a big miss. When he went 3. I thought that because it was 3, he went 2, right? Because Portland had 2, and then
didn't Charlotte have?
Oh,
2?
Charlotte had 2 and took Brandon Miller. That's
Brandon
right.
Miller.
Yes, that's right.
The big surprise that they.
So you can mess up within the top 3 though, because Scoot looks rough right now.
Number 2 is always like the toughest spot because you have to live up to the expectations of pick 1 without actually having pick 1. And it's very rare that you got a Ja Morant sitting there kind of thing.
Yeah, how was that, huh?
So 2 is where it gets tough. 2 and 3 isn't easy because it's that second tier and it's usually not quite as clear. But no, if you're in the top 3, you're in a hell of a lot better position than you are right now. Just don't let them get pick 4 because we'll draft a forward out of FSU who didn't even start on his college basketball team.
I swear I was ready to argue about this was the best game I've ever seen him play, and I looked at the stat line and I'm like, wow. I was like, I cannot believe.
And he was was he even positive in the plus minus tonight? Probably not because he started the game.
No, he couldn't have been. Yeah, no, he was -3, but that's a team tied with Vooch for team best and Javon Carter.
He started with Dimitrovic, and now he's not going to be.
I'm convinced the people that get mad at me when they say he's like this badass cook turkeys while they're watching the game. Or do you know what I'm saying? They do something, dude. They have to. Because when they look up, I'm telling you, I'm looking up the whole time like this kid's a fucking star. He's big 3,
So while you're cooking the turkey, you're distracted enough to see the grand plan for Pat. But when you actually watch the full game, you're just like, what?
It was a different experience for me because me, I'm usually glued in. Like the kids when they're going to bed, like I read them their stories and stuff. But in that corner, dude, I got that game on. I know it's not right. I know people want to hear that, but I do. I do. I love watching the Bulls, man. So I watch them no matter where I'm at.
In every room. So
I do, bro. Jamie just fucks around, won't let me put him in the bathroom. Pisses me off. Like, see, I got TVs everywhere. Look at this shit, dude. We're live in Buzz's basement right now. Everything's on down here, dude. We got everything going. Anthony, what game's on that other one? At Golden State, my brother's down here too. 31-26. Your team sucks. He's a Golden State fan.
I mean, what about a trade with Golden State? Zach couldn't be mad to land with Steph, right? Like Klay Thompson sucking it up.
Hey, he was just saying that when he got here about how people are dogging on Klay because he's considerably younger.
Somebody literally put up Kevin Knox's stats from this year next to Klay Thompson's stats from this year, and Kevin Knox is outperforming Klay Thompson.
I would take Klay Thompson in a heartbeat right now. You know why? Because I think he has 1 year. This is his last year on the contract. I'll take him right now.
Exactly.
Go ahead and take Zach. See you later.
And then Zach and Andrew Wiggins are reunited with Steph Curry, and they can go win a championship.
Yep, they'll go win a championship, and Bulls fans will be like, see? And it's like, no, he just went to the best fucking friend. The dynasty is where he went with the,
with the player who ruined LeBron's legacy.
Yeah, I mean, he'll contribute, though. Zach will. He's a good player. He'll definitely contribute to that team, and the sky is the limit over there. But go ahead. The sky is not the limit with him as your face. And
send me Klay Thompson, Kuminga, future first.
Yo. Yeah. Well, what about – okay, wait a minute. Moody or Kuminga?
I mean, I'd take Kuminga just because I've wanted a 3-and-D wing for ages.
The last 73 years, yeah, I know. You've been saying that since we started the fucking show.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's fucking nuts. Then we hire a coach that runs nothing but guards. What are your plans tomorrow for Thanksgiving? What you doing?
Just going to go hang out with Ma, eat some of her fantastic cooking. Apparently, she's got like a 26-pound bird and 2 extra drumsticks for just me and her. So I'm going to be drumsticking it up like a son of a gun and probably eating a pound of mashed potatoes because that's my jam.
And
like making mashed potatoes really isn't difficult, but it's just very tedious.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't do it enough times throughout the year, but Thanksgiving is definitely one of those times where there will be a big ass platter of mashed potatoes, and mom might like take a scoop and put it on her plate, and then I'll just take the platter because that's how much I love mashed potatoes.
I have a very like routine based and addictive personality. So
Okay.
Jamie made me like this just happened recently within the last year. Would you agree with that statement, Ant? Huh? Yes, Jamie's mashed potatoes. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. So she'll make fucking fat mashed potatoes every Sunday. Mashed potatoes every Sunday, dude. When I'm cooking something big and I love mashed potatoes. I will go hard on mashed potatoes. But my family tradition is an artichoke heart eating contest. We have done it since we were children. Usually I could put down about 20 of them bitches at one time. Guaranteed. I feel like hell after, but I could do it. And I'm going to try to win this year. I'm not the winner in a long time. Because I usually...
So you're going to reclaim the crown tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm in good shape, man. I'm in good shape right now. 12-ounce curling. Get my workout in. I'm doing it out here, dude.
Aren't those margaritas like 16 ounces? Look at you stepping up the game.
Ah, damn. There's a flashlight on this thing. See that shit? I can't see it, dude. I'm blind. All I know is it's 5.3. I don't see nothing else. I'll look it up. Maybe Truly. What is this?
Oh, no, those are still 12s. They just got a skinny can to make you feel skinny.
Yeah, they're Trulies is what they're called. Maybe they'll sponsor Bulls on Tap. Truly. Someone clip this and send it to Truly.
Yeah, sure.
All right, next game. Next game is going to be on November 24th, which is Friday. At 6:30 p.m., the Bulls are in Toronto for an in-season tournament game, and the Bulls are, fun fact, still somehow alive. If they lose, they are done.
Okay.
If they win, they're not. Actually, I think another team has to win one more than they're out. I don't remember. You know what? I'm not going to fucking pretend I know what I'm talking about. I know they're still alive, though.
They're still mathematically alive.
They're still mathematically
alive. If they win, all it takes is another team to win, and they lose.
Yeah, I think their
own fate at this point isn't even in their own hands. They could win out and still just not make the tournament.
Does Zach play on Friday?
No.
Oh, wow.
I don't. We touched on this last show, Buzz. Generally, in these situations, when a player is close to getting out, one, to avoid injury for both sides, because then you can't get rid of him.
No,
if he's out there playing, especially if he's playing half.
So this is it.
Half reserved and half removed.
Are you making the statement? We're getting ready to wind down here, and you're making a statement right now.
I'm making
that you think that Zach LaVine might have
foot soreness. Your team is winning 1 out of every 3 games that you play. I don't care if your foot's broken. It better be gone. If you're the max player on this team and you're not playing with right foot soreness, what'd you do? Have too good a sex and you cramped your foot? You stretched a little too far? Like, no. This has to be it.
Well, he runs a lot, man. It can happen.
He took 19
What
shots.
if he stubbed his toe, bro? You don't know.
I don't care. Take some Alex Caruso juice and get your ass on the floor, because no. So I don't think he's going to play.
So
I'm saying this having seen the pregame interview where he pretty much just says, I've missed enough basketball in my career. What hurts the most is not being able to play.
Okay, so you think he's full of shit?
I think he's full of shit. I think that is full on scripted nonsense. Just the same thing, the same professionalism that comes with the answers that have made him respectable professional time here in Chicago, minus the PR incident. He's saying the right things, but they're bullshit.
Yeah, he's always been professional, but it's bullshit, right? So you think he's played his last game in the Chicago Bowl?
I won't go that far. But if things don't pick up, yeah, I mean, obviously we touched on it. You have to wait till December 15th to trade a lot of these players, January 15th for some, which makes this complicated because I don't know that Zach can sit out without collecting fines and without like an actual injury. He is the Bulls' max player. You know, they got them their rest rules.
I'm very interested to see how this shapes out, brother. I really am. Because, I mean, I love that you kind of hinted at that because you know what? I didn't look at it that way because I've been just looking at December 15th because I have accepted that the fucking Lakers are trading for him.
Okay.
So like I didn't think about that it was going to be it could be his like we could sit here all day and talk about the bullshit trades that we want, but it's gonna be the Lakers.
You will see me cry on a live podcast the day that Zach LaVine gets traded to the Lakers.
Because you're happy or sad?
Probably both, but more so just disgusted.
Oh, because I'm not really sad. I'm not sad at all.
That at age 42, the puppet master that is LeBron, that has fabricated all these super teams, is going to find a way to get Zach LaVine
to do it again
for jack shit nothing at the deadline or beforehand. And then the Lakers are going to go on contend, and everybody's going to go, Zach LaVine's not a winning player. LeBron carried him. He sucks. Anthony Davis never won anything without LeBron. He sucks. Doesn't matter. 42-year-old LeBron is the greatest player of all time. And that's how it's going to go down. And I'm going to have to once again root against the next Bull. Although the LeBron-Jimmy finals was very conflicting because it was like Jimmy wins. I'm never going to hear the end of it. Like we traded that dude for Zach LaVine. And LeBron.
Yeah, I just can't wait to get Zach out just so we can fucking forget about that whole thing.
You know, and LeBron wins, and it's just.
Even revisiting that trade, dude, the Bulls. He left Minnesota 2 years after.
No, I mean, given how the Minnesota project worked out,
yeah,
the fact that Jimmy went to Philly, played with Embiid, and Ben Simmons, and pretty much had their own super team over there, and fell short, and then somehow got Tobias Harris chosen over him in terms of receiving a max contract. That still blows my mind.
That does. That's fucking.
I think it blows every Philly fan's mind at this point too, because if anybody messed up the Jimmy Butler situation, it was Philly.
I'll tell you what, though, Philly's got Tyrese Maxey, and he's a motherfucker. Dude. I watched him last night. He's the real deal, man. He's very good. He's going to be good for a while.
Well, what sucked was I enjoyed watching SGA a lot tonight, and the last time we played OKC, I was joking about Big Cat sending Chet down, but they got two studs over there at least, and they've got a lot of role player guys that have just simply bought into their role and being what they are, and they're young, so they can grow together. Like I would almost 2-3 years from now might be the start of a dynasty for OKC.
I wouldn't be shocked by that. They have so many assets that have value, and what do they have on top of that?
So many assets.
Picks.
Yep. Nope. You've got.
They did it right.
Star talent in SGA. You've got a potential upcoming superstar talent in Chet.
Yep.
You've got more draft picks to trade to add to your roster than anybody in the league. And no, I mean they've just got young talent galore on top of that. It's a good time to be an OKC fan again. What's crazy is since the Michael Jordan era, OKC fans have had a better time as fans than Bulls fans. Between the Durant, Westbrook, Harden era,
we had 3 years of Derrick Rose.
Yes, and those years were glorious, but short-lived, and it just leaves a bitter taste in your mouth at this point because it's all been hell since then.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking bad. It's bad.
And we didn't even win anything. We were just the thorn in LeBron's side, and that was it.
You're right, dude. He's gonna go there, and it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be like the Lakers. LeBron.
I literally hope for anywhere but there. Anywhere but there, man. Seriously.
We can't talk about this anymore. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We need to be happy.
And I don't even dislike D'Lo.
I like D'Lo. Oh, Goose. God damn it. He kicked something out. I'm on two screens at one time. You guys have seen this before. This is wild. I wonder if Brian can clip this when he gets back from vacation. Anyway, I just want him to trade Zach LaVine. I don't think Zach LaVine's played his last game as a Bull. But if that is the case, if it is the case that Zach LaVine had played, is what I wanted to say back to you when you talked about Zach being moved in, and we were talking about if he has played his last game. This guy is the least favorite of the best Bulls players I've ever had.
Well, no, like I said, dude, I mean, and you've been consistent with that. I am still a Zach fan to a certain extent at this point. It's like that awkward stage of your breakup where you're just like, it's over. and you're trying to convince yourself like, he's ugly. He can't play basketball. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has no IQ. He doesn't know how to win games. I'm trying to convince myself that this situation is okay because it has just blown up in a way that we knew it was going to blow up. And almost every fan out there who watches close enough knew was going to blow up. That continuity was not going to be a thing, that an extra year together was not going to fix any of the problems that held this team. So no, I'm just at the stage where I'm trying to convince myself that moving Zach is the best thing.
It is.
It is, but as we touched on, the likely outcome of the Lakers and the return that that's going to mean does not feel good.
No, I mean, it sucks. But
if it's an unprotected pick when LeBron retires at age 47,
well, he'll be gone next year. He's not going to be in the Lakers next year. Unless Bronny stays in USC because he missed the first couple games and he does his sophomore season, then maybe him and his brother come out. How much younger is his brother than him? I'm not sure. But, I mean, if Bronny does get drafted in the lottery, it's not going to be to the Lakers.
He wants to play with both children now?
Yeah, you didn't see that commercial? His daughter's talking in the commercial is like, play with your son. Do it again. And, and then it shows a picture of Bryce. And I've been telling you, I hated him growing up, but I want so badly to see this guy play with his kids. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm a father.
It's because
I want to see it so bad, and I'm rooting for him to fucking stay healthy. Not rooting for him to win. Listen, man, he's a fucking freak. I can admit it now. He's been in the league since 2003. Dude, I got into high school in 2005. I'm 32, bro. You know what I'm old as fuck, son. You know what I'm telling you? Like, I'm old, bro.
And he's got a decade on you.
Yeah.
He's still playing basketball.
And he's just been around since I was a kid. He's been around before my nuts dropped. I don't even know what to fucking say, bro. He's been around for a long time. You know what I'm talking? Like, it's crazy. I've lived a lifetime with LeBron being on there. So, yeah, if I see him play with his fucking kids, dude, more power to it, man. Go ahead and do it. Like, that's cool. Like, guy's never been involved in any bullshit, like outside of basketball. He's just a fucking basketball player. The only reason I hate him is because people think he's better than Jordan. I'm telling those people, you're fucking stupid and wrong. But I'm not like completely against, like,
no, I think the most controversial thing that's happened with LeBron might be his wife smoking weed at the Cubs.
Yeah.
World Series.
And let her live, motherfucker. Yeah. Why? What is your business what she does?
You know? I can't smoke weed anymore either on camera.
Absolutely not. And we will obey the rules. All right. That's what we do here on Tap.
I guess nobody's allowed to smoke weed on camera unless you're Snoop Dogg.
And I heard he went smokeless, and then he was talking about a fucking fireplace.
Yep.
Fuck him. I got a solo stove back there. You know what I did? Sold it on Facebook Marketplace after that ad. Fucking, I got no time.
What did Jamie get it for free? And then he saw the ad.
Yeah, dude. You know I ain't buying that shit. I don't give a fuck. I'll go set a fire in the grass out there. Fuck your solo stove. I don't give a shit.
I like the smoke. I want all the smoke.
Any last words?
Zach LaVine, ball's in your court, bro. Like, how do you want your legacy to end here? I guess is kind of what this comes down to. I don't think it can be saved, and maybe that's the realization that he's hitting too. But I don't know if this is how you want to go out, but I guess we'll find out if that foot stays hurting.
I love the sincerity of your closing statement. Zach, I want to reiterate exactly what Goose said, but change a couple things. I don't give a fuck what you do. Can't wait. Once you leave, you leave. I told you all. I told everybody. This is what it is. This is what's happening. I might not be able to talk advanced stats like a crazy guy. I can look them up and I know what I'm looking at. But, yeah, you ain't it. So we'll see you later. If we see you next game, we do. If we don't, we don't. I don't care. Give me D'Lo and Rui in December 15th. That's all we got. You know where to go. It's on tapsportsnet.com. You know where to go on YouTube to subscribe on Tap Sportsnet YouTube channel. You know where to follow us on X. I'm not going to give all the ads out again. We'll see you on Friday after the Bulls take on the Raptors. Let's go, Bulls.